Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Tech Explained. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about one of the most interesting pieces of tech that was sent over to me by TP-Link. This is the TP-Link networking device hub, and it looks very similar to an Amazon Kindle or a Nook. It has a touchscreen display at the top here, and then below that we have our speaker and our microphone. And then on the bottom, we have our power button, a small LED indicator light, and a reset button which we will need to use when we set this up. We will also need to use the USB port on the bottom, as this does not have its own internal battery, so it will need to be plugged in at all times. This is the TP-Link networking device hub, and this device has some very old tech inside of it but can still be used today. So let's jump right into it. So like I said, now if you look around the edge, and if we go to System Tools, we have a bunch of different tools that we can use, such as the repeater function, WPS, a DDNS, port forwarding and more. So if we go to Wireless Setup, then Repeater Setup, we can choose the wireless mode. Currently it is set to router mode, but we can also set it to access point mode or client mode. If we go to wireless settings, we can see the wireless information, such as the channel that it is using and the signal strength. You can easily flash custom firmware onto this device and use it as a router or an access point. But if you are looking for a range extender, I would definitely recommend buying a newer Wi-Fi 6 range extender. And if we go to status, we can see the wireless signal quality, the number of clients connected and more. And if we go to administration, we can change the admin password and see the device information. We do have a micro SD card slot for expandable storage. We have a USB port, and then we have our Ethernet jack. Now there are two different models of this device, but I am going to connect to the 5 GHz SSID that was created by the TP-Link networking device hub. So right now I am sitting at 1300 megabits per second download and 900 megabits per second upload. Now I'm going to walk down the hallway and see how the signal changes. So right now I am still getting 1300 megabits per second download and 861 megabits per second upload. Now I'm going to go into my office, which is about 30 feet away from the router, and I am still getting 700 megabits per second download and 600 megabits per second upload. So this thing definitely improves the Wi-Fi signal. One supports 100 megabits per second Ethernet, and the other one supports gigabit Ethernet. But aside from that, they are pretty much the same device. So this device is definitely outdated, but it can still be used today. All we need to do is plug everything in. Press the power button and then go to TP-Link net. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to drop a like on the way out and subscribe for more content. I hope you learned something in this video. You have any comments or questions, drop them down below. I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Once you get to this page, you're going to want to go ahead and download the TP-Link Tether app. After you have downloaded the TP-Link Tether app, go ahead and log in and then click on Add a Device. From here, we are going to choose router, and then we are going to choose the RE605X, which is the model name of this device. And then we will click Next. We also get a power adapter in the box, as well as a quick start guide on our device. So now let's take a look at the specs of this thing. Like I said, this device is quite old. The CPU is clocked at only 400 MHz, and it only comes with 256 megabytes of RAM. However, it does support dual-band Wi-Fi, either 2.4 GHz or 5 GHz, and it does have built-in Bluetooth. It runs on OpenWRT, and it does support IPv6. Now keep in mind, this thing is not secure by any means. It does not have a secure login or anything like that. So you need to keep that in mind if you were to use this device today. So setting up the device itself is fairly simple. From here, we are going to need to press and hold the reset button for more than 3 seconds until the status light starts flashing. We will then choose the network where we are connected to and then click Confirm. Now once we have done that, it should automatically detect the device, and we will click Next. And then here we are going to enter in our wireless network information. So enter in your SSID and password and then click Next. Click Agree to the terms and conditions and then click Next. Now here it will ask you if you would like to enable IPv6. If you would like to do that, just click Yes. Otherwise, click No and then click Next. Here it will ask you if you would like to enable DHCP. I recommend you enable this unless you know what you are doing. And then click Next. And then here it will ask you if you would like to enable UPnP port mapping. You can enable this if you would like to, but if you don't know what it is, just leave it disabled. And then click Next. Now here it will ask you if you would like to enable DLNA. You can enable this if you would like to, and then click Next. And then here it will ask you if you would like to install any third-party plugins. You can do this if you would like to, but otherwise just click Next. And then here it will ask you if you would like to upgrade the firmware. You can do this if you would like to, but if you don't want to, just click Next. And then here it will ask you if you would like to enable the IoT device management service. You can enable this if you would like to, but otherwise just click Next. And then here it will ask you if you would like to register with TP-Link. You can do this if you would like to, but otherwise just click Next. And then here it will give us a few tips on how to improve the wireless coverage. And then click Next. And here we are all done. It says congratulations, you have successfully set up your device. Click Finish and then go to your wireless settings and connect to the SSID that was created. After you have connected to the network, go ahead and open up the TP-Link Tether app and then scroll down and you should see the device here. Go ahead and click on it. Now the first thing we are going to want to do is rename the device so that we know what it is. Now this interface is very outdated looking, but it does get the job done. So if we go back to wireless setup, we can change the wireless network name and password, set up a guest network and more. If we go over to device list, we can see all of the devices that are currently connected to the hub. And if we click on any of them, we can control which devices can access the internet. So if we go to internet access, we can enable or disable internet access for that device. So this might be useful if you have kids and you would like to limit their internet access. If we go to IoT device management, we can control smart devices that are connected to the hub. The main purpose of this device though is to work as a range extender or a repeater. So now let's test out the range of this thing. So right now I am using a Wi-Fi 6 router, however, keep in mind that the newer Wi-Fi 6 range extenders are much faster and have better range. Overall, I think this is a great learning experience if you want to learn more about networking. But that's gonna do it for this video.